Hello friends, I welcome you all to this 12th session of our Excel functions series. In the list presented, the green colored functions are covered in our earlier sessions and you can refer to the Excel functions series playlist for accessing any of the earlier sessions. The functions presented in the yellow box concatenate, concat and TEXTJOIN are going to be discussed in this session. Mr. Ram requested Mr. Sham for a session on text functions. On the request of Mr. Ram, Mr. Sham plans a session on concatenate, concat and TEXTJOIN functions for all the members of the reporting team. Let's start with the function description. Starting with the function concatenate. It joins several text strings into one text string. Range of text strings is not supported. Moving to concat, it joins a list or range of text strings, but it lacks in adding delimiter while concatenation. Moving to TEXTJOIN, it joins a list or range of text strings using a delimiter. All these functions are used for concatenation of strings, but they work differently. The table presented here covers the differences between these three concatenation functions, starting with the first capability, which is merging list of strings into one text string. This is supported by all the three functions, that is concatenate, concat and TEXTJOIN. Moving to the next capability, merge range of text strings. Concatenate is an old function and it lacks handling of range of text strings, whereas concat and TEXTJOIN do support the capability of merging range of text strings. Moving to the next capability, which is handling blank or empty cells. Concatenate and concat function cannot ignore or exclude blanks unless they are handled manually, whereas in case of TEXTJOIN, it gives the user an option to ignore or not to ignore the blank or empty cells. It gives an option to skip the blanks automatically. Moving towards our next parameter, which is version supported. Concatenate is supported in the earlier versions of Excel, whereas concat and TEXTJOIN are supported by all the versions from Excel 2016 onwards. Discussing the state of function, concatenate is deprecated. Hence, one should not use concatenate function going forward. Concat and TEXTJOIN are supported by latest versions of Excel and hence they are recommended. Let us understand this better with the help of a sample query, which is given that the customer data has address line 1, city and state. Can we get the complete address of each customer? In our Excel series workbook, we will try to solve this query using all the three functions. Now, coming to the data, we will be using the customer detail data. It contains all the customer details such as name, contact number, address line 1, city, state, etc. Now, let us move to our Excel series workbook and understand the working of these functions in detail. So our sample query or the problem statement was to get full address from the given customer details data. We will try to get the full address by using all the three functions separately. Our full address consists of customer name in concatenation with address line 1, city and state. Starting with the concatenate function. To apply concatenate, double click the cell where you want the function to be applied, enter equal to, then enter the function name, which is concatenate in our case, and then pass the arguments of the function. In the case of concatenate, we can see that the arguments are text strings which we want to merge together to get a single string as an output. Here C2 has the value Mr. Ram for the parameter customer name. Then we have F2 as Hinjawadi for address line 1, Pune for city, and Maharashtra for state. It is clearly visible that it has picked up each string and has merged back to back all the strings to return this output. Let us move to concat in this case. To apply concat, double click the cell, enter equal to, then enter concat, which is the function name, and then pass the text strings. It is similar to concatenate, but the formula looks smaller because in the case of concat, it also considers range of values. So all the text strings will be passed as independent arguments. If there is a range, then we can even pass that range to reduce the length of the formula. Here we want to concatenate customer name, which is Mr. Ram, C2, then address line 1, city and state, which is Hinjawadi, Pune and Maharashtra respectively, are passed as range argument. So we have passing a range argument along with an independent text string as argument in the concat function. So concat function supports managing of ranges. The output here would be same as what we got in the case of concatenate. Now moving to our third function, which is TEXTJOIN. This function gives us the option to use delimiter and gives user an option to ignore an empty cell or to consider it. Then the text strings are passed either independently or as ranges. So to apply TEXTJOIN, double click the cell, press equal to, enter TEXTJOIN as the function name. Then the first argument is delimiter. Pass that argument. In our case, I am passing a comma. Then whether you want to ignore the empty cells or not, we want to ignore the empty cells, hence we have mentioned as true here. Then we will pass C2 to get the customer name and then range of cells starting from F2 to H2, which will help us in giving our full address. Now this output looks cleaner, but delimiters are only supported in the case of TEXTJOIN. Concat and concatenate function, we will have to do it manually. If we want to get the same output result which we got using TEXTJOIN, then we will have to enter the comma or the delimiter manually. Let us try that. Now consider the second row. Now we have changed the formula to accommodate comma as a delimiter. In the case of concatenate, now we are passing C2, then the string, which is comma and space, then we are passing the value of F2, then again there is a delimiter, which is again comma and space, then we are passing G2, after which we are passing the delimiter, which is comma and a space, and then at last we are passing H2 string argument. So we can see here that to get the result similar to TEXTJOIN, we manually inserted the delimiter after each argument, which is a tedious job, but the efforts can be significantly reduced if instead of concatenate we would have used the TEXTJOIN. In the case of concat, again the same problem comes. The input parameters are only text strings. There is no parameter to capture the delimiter. Hence, the delimiter in such a scenario has to be passed as an argument so that we get the same formatted text as we are getting the output of TEXTJOIN function. So one thing which is clear here, that TEXTJOIN provides with the inbuilt delimiter parameter to format a given set of strings, whereas in the case of concatenate and concat, a delimiter, if required, has to be passed as a string argument after the each column value which you want to merge. Second thing which is important here is that concatenate is only taking independent text strings as input, whereas concat gives us an option to pass independent individual strings or to pass a range of text strings as an argument. In the case of TEXTJOIN as well, we can either pass independent strings, which is C2 in our case, and we can also pass a range of strings or text strings as in the case shown here. The other argument which is present in TEXTJOIN and is not there in the concatenate and concat function is the option of whether we want to ignore the blank cells or we do not want to ignore the blank cells. It is the second argument in the TEXTJOIN function which captures this. To understand this better, let us make F2 as an empty or a blank cell. Let's see the output of each function now. We can see that concatenate and concat functions are giving the same output where they are even considering the blank cell. But in the case of TEXTJOIN, since we have explicitly given that we want to ignore the empty cells, it is ignoring the address line 1 argument and concatenating only the customer name, the city and the state. Hence our output of TEXTJOIN is not considering the blank or empty cells as they are getting considered in the case of concatenate and concat functions. I hope you found this session helpful. If you have any questions, need further clarifications, or would like to share a feedback, please share the same in the comment section. Let us meet again in our next session and learn more Excel functions together. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications.